Yo, what up? Welcome back to a stiff receipt after a long two-week absence.
Jesus Christ.
Well, to be fair, we had the pay-per-view and whatnot.
Yeah,
so,
we did a lot all at the same time.
That kind of took up that day. There wasn't an excuse for last weekend, though. My excuse for last weekend is I literally just forgot.
Last weekend was the start of an off week for me because it's a personal shit. But it was a lot of like, oh, I haven't paid attention to anything.
Dude,
good job.
Like this week, I kind of started like Monday or so,
did.
and like I was keeping up with things. I watched Raw, and then like I feel like from there I just kind of like I just stopped keeping up with things for the week this week.
Well, I'll be a shill for a second. I definitely watched Dynamite. Did I pay attention to it? Not incredibly.
Right.
I did. I watched it.
That's what I watched Dynamite, but like I was like I had too much other stuff going on, so I was like kind of side eyeing it,
I did catch up on SmackDown though, because there was a lot going on SmackDown, and I'm glad
tried to
I
watch
watched
that live while streaming.
Yeah,
so
that was a little rough.
I didn't get a proper watch of it, but I did get to see the
most anticipated moment in sports entertainment
and
history at this
fucking
point.
Sammy hug.
Yes,
I got to see that, and that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's the only thing that mattered that night.
that was the best part of that night. I was like, oh well, doesn't matter.
Well, speaking of
I remember
SmackDown,
I didn't watch Rampage on Friday because it was early and I forgot about
Rampage either.
It's Rampage. Nobody has.
I know. But speaking of the SmackDown card or whatever, I just realized now that looking at it, Cody Rhodes fought Austin Theory.
Yeah.
For the championship.
Yeah.
In a dark match.
Yeah.
And then the opener was Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus fucking Ashante the Adonis and Top Dollar. Wow, man, they really got their money's worth that night, didn't they?
Yeah, but at least that was a dark match.
Right.
Because nobody wants to see. This is how bad it is. I'm vindicated at this point. The fucking Hit Row's been relegated to fucking start a warm-up dark match before fucking TV even begins.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, what are we doing? Another thing, well, I get this kind of transitions over to something that I did want to mention. But it's WrestleMania. And what do we have to look forward to after WrestleMania? The yearly mass releasings. Now, we don't have Vince in control, so that may not happen. But like,
I don't think it'll happen.
At what point are we gonna admit that this shit ain't working for some of the talent like Hit Row?
Last month. That's when we're admitting it, which is why they're pre-show dark match.
Well, that could be.
I mean, at this point, we've officially run into the whole, well, why was Hit Row good in NXT? Well, that's easy.
It's because of the one guy that isn't there anymore.
And now he's not. And I mean, what do you got? You have Ashanti the Adonis and Flop Dollar fucking running around almost dying multiple times because, well, it's Flop Dollar. So it's obvious. I don't want to hate on them. It's just every time I've watched Hit Row, it's been like, this is fucking underwhelming. Unless it's been with Swerve. And then it's like, oh, that's because Swerve's good. Okay, that makes sense.
Like, they do these, like, releases or whatever, and it sucks for everybody. And most of the time, like, there's a lot of really good people that get released that didn't get the chance to, like, do anything. Or didn't get the chance to, like, go all out to their full potential.
Yeah.
And Triple H hired a lot of those guys back. And then a lot of the guys that he hired back, I honestly question a little bit. But, like, like at what like Hit Row, right? Let's say like Hit Row, like Braun Strowman, like those specifically. Do we really believe that whatever money that they paid for them is worth what they're bringing to the show each week?
It depends. You'd have to go case by case.
I know.
Because it really depends.
I imagine Braun Strowman's being paid a lot more than Hit Row is.
Yeah, and Braun Strowman can still get a pop.
Yeah, I mean, Braun Strowman is definitely like higher on the list than Hit Row is, but I still don't think Braun Strowman has done anything worth like that's noteworthy at all since returning.
Okay. There's a few people that he's brought back recently that I can look at and kind of see, but I can't really think of them off the top of my head. But I mean, one of the ones that really pops directly off the top of my head, though, is Karrion Kross got brought back.
Karrion Kross, I don't know what to say about him because I love Karrion Kross. I love his gimmick. I love his whole deal. But I don't feel, has he done anything exciting? We had that we had the beginning. I feel like this is another thing. Like we've had these like beginnings where they come back. It's like, oh fuck yeah, and it's good for like a month or so, and then nothing else happens. It's the same thing that's happened with Bray Wyatt.
That's very true. Which we'll talk about that in a minute because there was something I saw.
Yeah, I've got that written down as well.
Okay, good. First of all, when it comes to Karrion Kross, I think that what you're looking at now is kind of a case of we have way too many ingredients in this kitchen. Have you ever looked at a menu and it had, like, people talk about places that have huge menus for no reason? You always look at like Bar Rescue is a stupid show, but they'll tell you you gotta pare it down.
That shit is on my TV right now.
That's funny. I love that show. But besides that, you gotta pull a menu down. You can't have too much, because have you ever looked at like a Cheesecake Factory menu? It's a fucking book. You can't decide what you want.
Right.
What type of cheesecake do you want? I don't know. I want macaroni, actually. Well, we have 50 different kinds. Pick one. I don't know what you want from me. This is option paralysis. That's the phrase for it. But that's what you get in this situation. And there's so many things going on. So many people that you have that are just incredibly talented in this company that, what do you do with them? Like, AEW has the same problem. There's so many people in that company that's just so fucking good.
The big difference.
What do you do with all of them?
I think the difference is, I think it's easier. It would be easier for WWE to use this extra talent than it is for AEW.
Yes.
Because
you're absolutely
for me,
right.
I feel like in my mind, there's so many good ways to book like these people. Like have fucking Karrion Kross and Braun Strowman. They're two big, huge, scary dudes. Have them fucking fight each other. I don't know. That's more exciting than watching Braun Strowman and Ricochet, or watching Karrion Kross do literally nothing.
Braun Strowman and Ricochet is a little annoying.
That's just such a weird pairing.
It's fine, actually. I'll be honest. I don't care.
Yeah,
I just don't care.
Either.
I think it's a problem.
Right.
And it's not that it really annoys me. It's just like, oh, look, Braun Strowman and Ricochet are on my TV.
And I think the worst part of that is Ricochet deserves better, you know?
They both kind of do. But I think this is also one of those things where it's like, hey, look, we're actually friends. Don't worry. That whole Twitter exchange wasn't a thing. Yeah. It's like, it is what it is. But, no, just Strowman. He's probably a better investment than fucking Hit Row.
Right.
Oh my God. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of other people that he's brought back recently that I'm like, that was stupid. Mostly the people that I'm like, those are terrible gets, are some of the people that are in NXT that got brought in when Vince and them were running it. And I'm like, those aren't very good wrestlers.
I wish I could find like a full list.
Maybe don't put them on TV.
It's so many, but I can't think of who every single one of them were off the top of my head. Oh, here we go. Here's a list. All right.
If he brought back Veer, I'm going to be very, very angry.
Me and Yim. I think that was a great. That was a great.
That was a win.
That was a
W.
One. Io Sky, Dakota Kai, obviously a
W.
huge fucking W. Karrion Kross, I'd still say is a W, but it's not as exciting as it should be.
Not properly used. I don't blame that on Karrion.
The other Johnny Gargano, but that doesn't really count because
that's always a W.
I mean, he wasn't
Johnny
fired.
Gargano, he does whatever
because of
that doesn't count. Neither does Candice LeRae. They both kind of left for the same reason.
She's on this list as well. Braun Strowman, I think it's been whatever.
Braun Strowman is useful. That's all he is. It's not really somebody that you're going to get a whole lot out of unless you're Vince McMahon and you try and put the Universal Championship on him against Brock Lesnar. But whatever.
Well, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. I think again that's a W, but it's been so underwhelming.
But the only reason that they're out is because AJ's hurt.
Right.
So
that's
the
kind
old
of
man
annoying.
is hurt.
Chelsea Green, which
W.
I don't. Fucking shit! I got a spider on my fucking arm. Fuck. God bless. I just was assaulted. Anyways, Chelsea Green. I don't like.
Yeah, Chelsea Green.
That's a dub, but like I don't think she's done enough or been around long enough to have like an opinion on how well she's doing.
They just kind of brought her out, and I like the fun, like bitchy, mean, dumb chick gimmick. That was fun. I mean, Chelsea Green, cool. We'll see it getting better, and her and Carmella is kind of fun right now.
I think these three all fit into the same category. Tegan Nox, Candice LeRae, and Emma. They're all like, that's cool. I'm glad it's great to see them back.
Candice
but
LeRae
WWE has no fucking clue what to do with any of them.
Well, Candice LeRae's getting used there. She's just kind of getting thrown in like her husband.
She's getting
They're the same fucking gimmick. No, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are the same fucking gimmick. It's a small person that you throw out there because they're really technically good and they can make anybody look good and lose and still look good. That's what they are, and that's what they get used as. And that's what Candice LeRae kind of is.
Dude, I think the Hit Row, we've already talked about that. Like, I think that's Hit Row. I think Hit Row is the only one on this list that's just a huge L, realistically.
I said that. That's mean. I need to be nicer. I'm not a fan of Hit Row. If you like them, enjoy it. I'd really, really honestly mean that. I'm not a fan, personally. I don't like them.
Dexter Lumis is a weird one because I feel like I have very different opinion on Dexter Lumis than everybody else did. Like that whole feud that he had with The Miz, where he just kept doing weird shit and like poking up backstage and like just all of that whole thing. I freaking loved that so much.
People hated that.
But everybody,
they did. How?
Yeah, everybody said that it went on too long.
No,
and I'm like, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I was like, how many times are we gonna see fucking Dexter Lumis pop out from underneath the ring? Like, do it every goddamn week for all I care.
It's kind of like what you. How many times do you want Danhausen to curse somebody? Every fucking TV show, every one of them.
Yes,
bring that little bastard out and have him curse somebody.
Cannot have that happen too many times.
he tore a pectoral muscle. He's gonna be off. Just keep him on TV cursing people. That's all you have to do. His arm is now in a sling. He can curse people easier. It's already in position. It's fine. Just bring him out and do it.
The last one on that list, which will transition over to several other things as well, is obviously Bray Wyatt, who I think is a dub return, but has been utilized terribly.
I'm starting to kind of have like conflicting feelings with Bray.
I agree. I fucking agree. I don't like. It's just. I feel like there's a lot of conflicting things with what he's trying to do with his character as well. It's just like oh, I can't. I'm not gonna be the old Bray Wyatt. We're not gonna be the Fiend. We're gonna be a totally new thing. And like all of this shit about me is dead. And then what happens? Oh well, he's back as a masked guy that looks exactly like the Fiend but different. And then like all of a sudden, we're doing the Firefly Funhouse again. I'm like, wait. I thought we were done with all that. Like, what was with that interview? Like, I'm confused. It's like he doesn't know what he wants to do, and WWE doesn't know what they want to do with him. Like, it's very weird.
I don't know. It's one of those weird situations. it's hard to that's hard to talk about. Is
Right.
because I'm really, like I said, there's a lot of conflicting like thoughts when it comes to him, and like how I feel about what he's doing. I hate saying how I feel about it because it sounds stupid, but it's like, what do you think when you're looking at this, or what goes through your head? So it's like he's got a lot of really cool fucking ideas, like really cool ideas.
Yeah.
And he's got a really cool story, and he's put that out there, and there's a lot of like story references that go back and forth between everything he's done. It's kind of intertwined and gone together. It's been really cool. But where's it going, and what's it doing in this? Is it a wrestling character? Is it a wrestling gimmick? Or is it a horror movie character?
You know what I think has happened is they've let him take the reins on creative control for what's going on, and now I think he's
like too much.
They haven't said enough. He's got too much control over it, and they're not able to have enough input. And now I think we've got this everything's weird because of it.
I also think that it's probably a couple things as far as it comes to that. It's maybe the parts that they're trying to affect aren't the ones that they should.
Yeah.
Like they should, there's some areas that they should be like, okay, this is something we have to work in, and it's not working.
Like
and also probably
what if he didn't want to do it, and they're like, well, everybody likes it, so we need to bring it back.
That's what I'm saying. Like somebody's going, listen, it's already gotten over, just bring it back, and we can do something with it. It's fine, do it. And it's like, I get that. That doesn't really hurt. I understand he said something in an interview, but you can always go back on something like that creatively to move things forward, because there's a whole different thought process. The other thing about it is this. Oh, good, your buddy.
I'm killing.
Just wants.
Oh shit! No, I didn't.
Oh. You all
right?
right?
Damn, this bitch is fast. Right. Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? I got it. It's dead. I killed it.
Well, you know, he just wanted to talk wrestling. It's fine.
All right. Anyways, continue.
It's a spider. Anyways, yeah. So the thing about it is, the only other thing I think about is how much is he allowing them to be in on it?
Yeah.
Like how do I put this? How difficult is he being to work with because of having to deal with Vince and all the stuff that he was coming up with?
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, when it started, it was cool. The very beginning, that's the problem. Is every time it loses focus. It starts out really cool with really interesting ideas, and then it's just like, all right, I'm in the ring, and fuck it.
I think we should have just gone full bore, brand new. Like, don't bring any of the old shit back. Just start completely over, do this whole new thing. I don't think we needed all of this. We didn't need the fucking mask. We didn't need the damn.
I didn't mind
lights out match.
I liked the face paint more.
The face paint was dope, but again, we don't need to make the same mistake of the lighting and shit. If we were gonna do the lighting and the face paint and all that, have him like as he walks out to the ring or something. When the match starts, turn the lights off or turn the regular lights back on. I mean,
the
wrestling in the light is just like annoying, and I hate it.
Hopefully, that was just like one of those things where they're trying to get like they're trying to get the pop for it.
Yeah.
And get that like that first visual out of the way for the Mountain Dew Pitch Black, and then it was supposed to go back to like normal face paint or something else.
Yeah,
like that would have been fine. The stupid mask coming back of a different type of mask was kind of weird. It was a cool mask and it could have worked, but it was just like, all right, we got face paint and now we don't.
Yeah,
what the fuck are we doing here? Why did we do
neither? Now we got neither, and then we're doing Firefly Funhouses again. I just don't get it. I don't know.
Don't know. It's so. Because I feel like it's one of those things where you see somebody who has a whole lot of like creativity and some really cool ideas, and you really want to see somebody do, like, there's a lot of people like that, film people, music people, like they have ideas and there's these really cool thought, but just execution just seems to be jumbled. Like they need somebody else there to like really hold it together.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't ever have that.
Yeah.
Or nobody knows how to do that for him or something. I don't know. It's just I feel bad because it's like, this sucks and I hate it, but I don't want to. I want to like it so much.
Right.
And I want to love that kind of thing because it's so up my alley. It's The Undertaker. It's more Bray Wyatt. It's like one of my favorite things in AEW is the House of Black. I love them. Fucking awesome. This is my kind of gimmick, and I am not enjoying it in the least bit.
Right.
And I don't know why.
Well,
it makes no sense.
We still got time, and
idea.
And like, I feel like a lot of what has been weird here lately too is the WrestleMania booking, because from what I've seen, what I've read, the WrestleMania thing, the booking is mostly Brock Lesnar's like thing. He didn't want to work with Bray. That was him. He just didn't want to do it. He's like, oh, that was dumb. I don't want to fight him. So now he's fighting Omos. And then I don't know what the hell happened with Brock and Bobby. I'm assuming Brock didn't want to do that either. But
well, you know, he's hurt and he didn't show up to TV.
So Bray Wyatt he's sidelined with something. And nowhere on any article does it say an injury. It says a physical issue. And then I believe Sean Rossap, he said, to quote him, I think he said it was some kind of illness. Like he's sick with something. It's not like an injury, some kind of illness or something. But they did say, even though he's been absent from TV and the shows and whatnot, that WrestleMania match is still booked to happen. So that is going to be interesting to see. Because, like, we need...
Yeah, maybe he's just...
If they're going to have that build-up, or if they're going to have that match, we need some kind of build-up, right? Just be kind of weird at this point to just, like, not have anything and then just, like, shit out this match for no reason at WrestleMania, of all places.
I'm sure we could hotshot book something better than Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt.
I guess.
Or hear me out, and this is more important, we could hotshot book something better, definitely better than Brock versus Omos.
It's funny because, like, at this point, I almost want.
Anything would be better than that.
I'm almost excited to watch it because of how fucking stupid it is. Speaking of Omos, did you see the promo, the confrontation on Raw?
No, actually, I missed that because I was like, "Oh, that's coming up." Nope.
You'll have to watch the segment, but like they talk or whatever, and then like there's a part where like Omos pulls his fist up really slowly and just holds it out straight for like no reason, and it looks super weird. And Brock's just kind of like leaning back, like what the fuck is going on here? And then like he slowly opens his hand for a handshake. It was very weird. Wasn't a fan at all, but it was strange. So that's
it.
Now
everything
official.
to do with that is strange.
What else is now official? It's funny. Like it's hard to keep track of what matches are now official because some of these matches I already knew that they were going to happen.
We didn't really talk about the triple threat for the Intercontinental.
Yeah, that's a new one, but that one was still rumored. But that one was more.
Well, it's pretty
up in the air until
yeah.
now.
So actually, this was something that came up on another video, and I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was, I don't even remember what culture, something like that. Somebody said it looks like Drew or Sheamus is going to win the Intercontinental title. Somebody said that because if you give it to Sheamus, then you have something for Pete Dunne to do because he's supposed to come back as Pete Dunne.
That's true, yeah. So, all right, right
and
now.
I'm like, yes, Pete Dunne, now. Do it.
It was as far as confirmed matches. We've got the Undisputed match, Cody and Roman. U.S. title match, Cena and Theory is now a confirmed thing. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair for the women's title match, which has now been announced that is going to be the main event of night one and not the tag team title match. That I actually don't think has been even announced yet. No. Now that I think about it. But yeah, so that WrestleMania night one, apparently everybody was really pushing backstage for Sammy and Kevin, the tag title match, to be the main event of night one, but they didn't want to do it. They wanted to make it the women's title match. So there could be a women's title match in the first main event, and then the men's on the second. Which, I mean, that's fine. It doesn't matter. You know, who gives a shit what's position the matches are on the card? It's like a minor thing, but.
Well, I mean,
I do think
it kind of matters
match,
for them,
the tag
and I
match
get why they do that.
Is more of a main event than Rhea and Charlotte, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah, but I also get why they're doing it. Like I said, it's just one of those things where they're trying to be fair about stuff, I guess, and not, avoid as many people being like, "Hey, how come you don't put women in the main event?
Right.
How come there's no women?" It's like, we've done that before. I don't get why it's such a big deal, but it's an issue they had in the past. I mean, let's be honest. The women's wrestling has only been actual wrestling within the past couple of years or few years, so kind of gonna make it for lost time. But I get why they're doing it. It makes sense. Just give the women a main event on one night and men's on the other. But I do feel like if they do the tag like that, more than likely tag team match in right before the main event.
Yeah,
that's going to be a lot going on all at once, and that pop is not going to be quite as big for the main event. So they probably have to run it pretty early in the show.
Yeah.
Maybe even like the first thing.
Then we got the Raw's women title match, Asuka and Belair. That one, I would assume that would be on day 2, but it doesn't say. A triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Sheamus, Drew, and Gunther. Hell in a Cell. This is another match that finally got announced that has been rumored for like a month now. Finn Balor and Edge in a Hell in a Cell. And it's very highly teased and rumored that we're getting Demon Finn Balor versus Brood Edge. And, I'm here for it. I mean, you're not going to see any complaints from me. I'll watch it. This is one of those ones that, like, I feel like this story should have wrapped up forever ago, but, like, I have literally zero problem watching Finn Balor and Edge.
Yeah, me either. I don't. That doesn't bother me. I mean, it is kind of annoying that we keep doing the same
shit, but like, I think Edge and Finn Balor is great. And it's so funny ever since Edge cut off his hair or whatever. They show like the match card stuff, dude. Edge and Finn look almost identical. It's just Edge is like blonde, and then weird. Finn Balor's darker haired, and then it's like kind of scary how similar they look. Then we got Brock Lesnar and Omos. Yay. Whatever. Damage Control versus Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch, and Lita for the titles. I don't know how this is gonna work. This is a weird. This whole feud has been so weird because they put the belts on Lita and Becky for some reason. I thought that was super strange. They delayed Trish Stratus's return like for 2 weeks, and then on the third week she just came out. She just ran out there and randomly, and then ended up getting them the win because of it. And now we're running it back again as like a trios match.
How do you have a trios match for a doubles championship?
I don't think it is it? It doesn't say it's for the title, but
I thought you said it was for the titles. My bad.
I might have. It didn't say it's for the title, but I have no idea. I think they've done stuff like that before. It would just go to whoever's the tag team of the group, but
and Dakota, right?
So, but like the thing is, it's also been talked about. Like one of the things that kept Trish Stratus from like debuting back when she was supposed to was creative differences, because Trish wanted to do something that she hadn't done and wanted to do some kind of heel angle. So like. This just, I don't know. We have a run out and then form this triple threat or trios group to take on Damage Control, and then is she gonna freaking just turn on him at WrestleMania, and then what? Like, I don't know.
I have no
Obviously,
clue,
it's all rumored,
jumbled.
But like this,
weird.
I hate this. I don't like the Damage Control, Lita, Trish, and Becky stuff. I just cannot be bothered to care.
I think all the creative difference part of it kind of threw everything in a kangaroo, kind of made
Right.
it even more annoying because, and also part of the other thing that kind of ruined everything was that fucking Raw show, whichever anniversary show that was, where the last one, which one was it? Raw something, anyways. Triple X, that's what it was.
Yeah,
The third,
Raw's 30.
where they did they were supposed to have the cage match, and then they just beat the crap out of her at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So they could avoid the cage match for time, so
Yeah.
that they could go out there and have the longest DX segment in the history of television, followed by, oh, I'm sorry, and it was also preceded by the longest Bloodline segment in recorded history.
That's true, but I'm gonna be real. Both of those were like, if we're let's say that tag match or that steel cage match that they had like a couple weeks after that to make up for the one that they were supposed to have. Let's say that match actually happened. I would have much rather watched the Bloodline segment and the DX segment than that cage match. That cage match was just fine. It was okay. It was nothing incredibly exciting by any means when they ran it back.
Yeah, I mean, part of the problem with that was they didn't even have heat on it because they were supposed to do it the week before, did it later, and it was just like, who cares? It's like, I don't...
Everything's all jumbled with them right now. I'm hoping that once we get WrestleMania over with, everything, we just get like a hard reset, right?
Well, you know what's funny about that is I hope that happens for a lot. I hope we get past April and May and just kind of fucking do something with everybody.
Yeah.
Because, and I mean that across the board, because I'm looking at WWE and it's like, there's a lot of stuff going on here that's kind of fun that I don't hate. And it's kind of, but I just feel bored.
I still think the thing with the biggest problem that WWE has right now is the whole show, both SmackDown and Raw, are being tied up by the Bloodline shit. The Bloodline shit is literally the main focus of both shows and the entire tag team division and the entire main event division. It's like that has to resolve. And then once that resolves, hopefully we can get some more focus going in other places.
Yeah. I mean, no, absolutely. It's just, I don't know. Everything about it is like, just everything is annoying everywhere. I don't know. Maybe it's just me and that's how I feel about stuff right now.
Yeah.
And it's like outside of how I feel about everything, creeping into how I feel about wrestling. But it just seems like everything on, there's a lot of cool stuff going on WWE. There's some cool stuff going on AEW.
Yeah.
But it just seems like there's so much going on where I'm like, I just want something to happen. I kind of like what they're doing with certain people, but then there's like, do we have to do Blackpool Combat Club versus the fucking Dark Order again?
I don't know why we needed that.
Do we? I'm glad Stu Grayson is back, but why are we running this back for like a third time?
I don't know. I feel like the Blackpool Combat Club died when William Regal left. Like the Blackpool Combat Club,
it's kind of done.
Right. They need to just disperse and do something different with them.
Or I think they can kind of go with it still and kind of, work with it and keep it. If they change the gimmick, just turn them into a fucking heel faction like they're doing. Just do that.
Yeah,
that's
I think that would be a lot better.
Turning into, that's great. Nobody's gonna really boo Jon Moxley.
Yeah,
he's still gonna pop everybody. Nobody's really gonna boo Castagnoli.
Yeah,
because it's Claudio. I mean, everybody's gonna boo Yuta because Yuta's a little shit.
Most people don't even know who Yuta is.
Hey, who's that third guy?
The one with the face?
Wait, which one? There's three of them. The other one. Don't make me say it. Okay, yeah, good point. So it's one of those things where it's like I don't care about. I barely cared about Jon Moxley versus fucking Hangman Page to begin with. Just to be quite honest with you, I'm at the point where Hangman Page is kind of running his course for me.
How many times did we get that match? Like 4?
Three.
Whatever. It's 3 or 4. It was too many times. And like especially that last one, it was really fucking good. But shit, like,
no, they're great matches. I enjoy them when it's happening. It's just like, oh, I have to go through TV to get to the matches. Just have the match. I don't care. I don't care about all this. I'm gonna be Hangman. I'm gonna be the good cowboy standing here talking to the guy I just made bleed all over the ring's wife.
Dude, one thing I want to mention while I'm thinking about things that I hate. This whole TNT title shit. And then Wardlow literally having the title for like 2 fucking days. And then losing the belt. It's just like, God damn it! So hopefully Hobbs keeps it for a long time. But something I do mention that I didn't have written down is that Wardlow allegedly got his title stolen and all of his belongings out of a rental car, right? And you know, he made a video of it. It's like there was broken glass, like it got stolen. And like, either it's so funny to me because like how everything is played out on TV now, either that was a lie or AEW has done really well at making it look like it was a lie.
Oh, I hope it's the second one.
I do too, because at this point I actually do not know if his car was actually broken into or not. Because they played it off in a way.
If it's the first one, it actually would. You know what? Either one of these options is fantastic. Honestly. Yeah. If they screwed us so hard that they got everybody to believe something that was completely fake, and it turned out that they just worked everybody very well, I would be the happiest man on earth. I would be like, this is some old school wrestling shit. This is awesome.
Like if his shit actually did get broken into and the title and his belongings got stolen, they literally got a car, right? Let's say it did actually get stolen, right? And that was real. So that would mean on Dynamite, they literally went and got a car and filmed QT Marshall breaking into this car and stealing the TNT title belt.
Okay.
And that's just crazy to me because it's like, as I said, like now I just don't know. It's like, is that what really happened, or did they just make it look like that's what's happening?
Hear me out. First of all, we can find that out definitively. How much work you're willing to do is the important part of that.
One thing I wanted to do that I never did was I wanted to compare the cars. I don't know if was it the same car? I don't. The one on the AEW, if I remember, was like a white car, but I don't remember if the one.
Yeah, it was whitish or silver, and his was whitish or silver. Like a silver, like I think it could have been either like silvery white or like the darkest color. It would have been like a sand or like champagne color. I thought so. It could have been either one of those because it was like a Suburban or a Tahoe or something.
Either way, props to AEW because that's the
dude.
Kind of
either
shit
way,
that
was
I love because I don't know what to think. I don't know if it was real or if it was fake. Anytime that happens, I'm all aboard.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as I said, I'm so sick of this TNT title shit, but hopefully Hobbs will keep the belt for a while and we won't have this.
I'm so sick of both of the mid-card titles. I'm done with them. Yeah. I don't give a shit because
Speaking of, Jade had another 42-second squash match this week.
Fuck this title and this fucking gimmick and this stupid fucking show that we're just treading water until Statlander gets back.
All right, that's what it is. It's
fantastic.
We're literally just running out the clock until Statlander comes back and can take the belt.
Don't get me wrong. I will pop many things when she comes back and wins. But I will also be incredibly annoyed by that point.
Yeah.
So I just, you know what? She's going to come back within the next couple months. It's not necessary for Jade to have it.
No.
Give it to somebody else.
Well,
hey,
the only thing
give it
is,
to Valkyrie.
If she holds the belt till Statlander gets back, that would be fucking dope to see Statlander be the one to end this streak.
I get it. Look,
That's the thing. Like, I
Christ,
feel like it'd be
dude.
less exciting if somebody else took the belt before she got back. I mean,
It's just,
that's saying if she is the one to take the belt at all. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. That would be the smartest decision.
I don't know.
But
The whole thing just, I just think of everything. Fuck, I'm trying to talk and I can't do it right now. So I just think of all the stuff that surrounds Jaden, like all the stuff. It's like, okay, she's incredible looking. She's obviously very attractive, but she's also incredibly strong looking. She is incredibly strong. She's incredibly athletic. Yet somehow, just the least enthralling wrestler I've ever seen.
right.
And I just can't care when she's in a match. And
No.
I think it's just because she's new. She needs to
She's
she needs to
overstayed
get
her
better.
welcome.
But she's overstayed the welcome at the
It's-
top.
and
She needs to
it-
get
that's
kicked
the-
back
that's
down
a-
and work back
That's
up.
my big problem. Is like, you know, her matches are whatever. Like, some of them are all right, some of them are bad. But like, I think we had two
Depends on the
big,
opponent.
yeah, we had two really good opportunities to take that belt off her, and we wasted both of them. I think that's what pisses me off more than anything.
Yeah. No, there was a couple. I'm really pissed that they didn't just give it to Athena either.
Right.
You could have just given it to Athena. Put it on Athena, and then have fucking, because Statlander and Athena were together against Jade and the baddies. Remember?
Yeah.
So give it to Athena. Have Statlander come back and just immediately go after Athena. Besides, you already turned Athena heel in Ring of Honor. She's a healed champion. You could have done the same thing. I guess putting her in Ring of Honor is fine. I don't hate saying her at Ring of Honor. It's fine. But I don't know, man. Jade needs to get knocked back down the card. I know she's only mid card. She needs to go to the bottom and work her way back up, because it's not that she doesn't even talk well. She can talk. She can sell herself.
Yeah.
She has an incredible. She looks athletic, looks powerful, and she's, just looks great. Just needs the in-ring thing, and she's gonna only have to get that with time, because she's new. Like, this isn't something she's been doing for forever. She was a college basketball player before. I mean, she just I want to say she needs more time.
Yeah.
That's it. But I don't want her with a belt while she's doing that, because it's just, even if you did it for a little while and gave her a streak to kind of get her over a little bit, fine. But that's, like you said, we have way overstayed our welcome on that.
Yeah, for sure. Before we get too far off track, to finish up all of the Wrestlemania stuff, because there's a few more like things. Obviously, we got the Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, and I saw a post earlier today that apparently, allegedly, they are planning for John Cena versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Now, I cannot even be bothered to care about that.
Yeah.
I don't like. I think the Logan Paul and Seth Rollins thing kind of makes sense. Like, I could get that, I guess. And Logan Paul always does some wild shit, so it's interesting to watch. So whatever. But like, Logan Paul, John Cena.
That makes perfect sense. You said who's the perfect wrestler for Logan Paul, for his audience to see wrestling.
Well, yeah, for his.
Well, the first two
exactly
are John Cena and Seth Rollins. John Cena is going to be fine. It'll work. Also, it's fine. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit anything to do with that. It's going to work, or it won't, and we'll get to make fun of it or be like, well, damn, that was actually surprising. When it comes to Logan Paul and wrestling anymore, I'm just going to let it fucking happen and just whatever. I can't stop it. They make way too much money off of it. It's not like any of us can say anything to change one way or the other.
Speaking of John Cena, I'm thinking about it. Did you see that John Cena defended Mr. McMahon's actions in like an interview the other day?
Okay.
What was the exact quote? I gotta find it. I mean, everyone has a right to their perspective. I have the right to mine. When you love somebody, you take them as imperfectly perfect as they are. We all make mistakes. We all have poor decisions. Lord knows I've made my collection of poor choices. That doesn't mean I'm not going to love somebody. There's no way I can go on record and say I don't love Vince McMahon. That is it doesn't seem real that is an actual quote that came out of John Cena's mouth. But at the same time, it sounds exactly like something John Cena would say. God damn it. Like,
hey, you want to make a
fucking
controversial
take that
statement?
is.
Do you want to know the most controversial statement that I can make about that?
What?
Nothing he said was wrong.
I mean, like, sure.
Nothing he said was wrong. Do I agree with him?
Right. Like the
no,
statement.
Vince McMahon's always been a
the statement
dickbag, but I get that you have
is correct, but like,
yes,
this is a little bit of a different scenario here.
But at the same time, what he's saying is it's not wrong about anybody in that circumstance. It's like, I can't. How do I hate this person when I have nothing to do with that and I only have good interactions with the person?
Realistically, he didn't say.
You can look at that and go.
Realistically,
exactly.
He was just saying how his relationship was with McMahon. Like, he's had, I'm sure he's, on a good relationship with them, and he's not done anything bad to him, so he wants to say positive things about it. But
yeah, and I want to know more of the context on that, because it could have been one of those situations where it's like you cut out the part where you go, listen, what he did was really fucked up, but as far as him and I go, it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you said it was wrong, but you also said that you're still friends with him. It's like,
I need to see what the question was asked. I want to, because I closed out the article, or I would have looked, but I want to know. I want to know if they asked him straight up if what he thought of Mr. McMahon since the allegations. I feel like that would sound way more sketchy if that was what was asked specifically.
Well, even then, it's one of those situations where it's like, hey, what do you think of him since that? That doesn't mean that you're like.
I think the part where he talks about, I made my collection of poor choices. We all make mistakes. We all do things that
does
are bad.
Kind of undercut what he's saying a little bit, because it's one of those things where you could be like, people do terrible things, but you can't like change how you. It doesn't always change how you feel about them. I don't know. There's a better way of putting that, because what it does is, what he's saying is, I've done things that are really bad, and they're on par with paying someone off for, misconduct and taking advantage of my situation. Basically taking advantage of them. I wouldn't say like assault or anything like that, but definitely taking advantage of them.
Yeah.
And then I paid them off to keep them quiet. Like, those are two different things. Yes, John, you left your wife because she said she wanted to have a kid, so you guys got divorced. That's not the same as paying off your intern so she doesn't tell everybody that you basically coerced her into sex.
There's drastic differences between the bad choices that John Cena has made and the bad choices that Vince McMahon has made.
John, you're an asshole. You're a complete and total asshole, John. From all accounts, you might be a nice guy, but you're also an asshole because of the weird things you do. But I also want you to know, you're not anywhere near as terrible a human being as Vince McMahon.
Exactly. I don't know. Like, as I said, like, there's parts of what he said that I'm like, okay, well, sure.
Listen, I just think like all he does, it's one of those things where he ruins his own point.
The first part where he says everyone has the right to their perspective and the right to have mine. It's like, okay, well, that's always a bad sign when people start with that, by the way. The perspective is what is fact. Like, he did the thing. What perspective is there to have on that? It's like, it's just a bad thing that he did. It was terrible. Like, fuck him. What other perspective could you have on that situation?
That's a very, very delicate balance that you have to have when you start talking about something like that.
Right.
Because it is one of those things where it's like, I know people who have done terrible things. Everybody has.
Yeah.
Everybody has known somebody and they've been like, damn, they're that person. And it's one of those situations where you look at it and you go, oh, I don't stand behind anything they did. I mean, I just only know this person as I know this person, so I don't hate them. And it's like, I only know this. Now that I know this, I don't necessarily think that they're a good person. I just only know this person as this. There's a lot of things like that where it comes down to it, but it just seems like it's one of those things where if somebody asks you that and you're in the public spotlight, the best answer is, listen, what we know about the facts are awful and all of that. And I don't stand behind that anyway. Vince was part of my, if somebody who did that would be part of how I got here. And I'm grateful for that. They did everything and I didn't know this about them, blah, blah, blah. I choose not to talk about them because of that. Because it's one of those things where it's like, I'm walking a tightrope here and I don't feel like doing it.
I feel like the best answer to that question is no comment. That's what you say, and then you leave it at that.
Like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, nope, that's gonna get worse. That's gonna get worse. There's no context for that where it's like, you can make a defense where some people, like, I'm looking at it, seeing what he's trying to say, but also listening to him going, there's a lot of people that aren't gonna get that, and you're really gonna piss a whole lot of people off. Maybe don't do it. John, this is kind of like apologizing in Mandarin. It's not a good look.
Oh God. Well, it's to wrap up anything else. I don't know if I had anything else WrestleMania stuff written down, but obviously there's still 3 matches that aren't confirmed on the card, but are like they're happening. Let's be real. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus the Usos. I was actually unaware that this was not already confirmed after everything that happened, but whatever. That's, more than likely gonna happen. Rey and Dominic, dude, this every week. I'm like, is this it? Is this the moment? Is Rey finally gonna punch him in the face? And every week I'm left thoroughly disappointed. So hopefully we get that moment soon and that match will be booked. And then the last one is Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt, which said, like, they kind of started off, and then Bray, I guess, had some kind of illness, but apparently the match is still confirmed on the card as of right now, but obviously that
reminds me about him. I also heard, like, I saw that there was, like, the illness that you talked about where it wasn't like a physical thing, or it wasn't like a injury, but it was like an illness, like he was sick or something. Fine. I also heard where it's like, apparently there's conflicting, obviously, and nobody really has a good source or knows. And it's just kind of one of those rumors where it's like, he's not happy.
Well,
and looking to book it
Sean
somewhere
Ross
else.
has said a few times now that everybody he has reached out to and talked to, nobody has said that this was a creative issue. It was originally...
I don't know.
It was originally posted as, like, creative differences, but him and Dave said that there was no source that, like, could back that up. And, like, again, like, I think it was Dave who said, it's all very vague, and that just irritates the shit out of me. And where he said he is out with physical, what does he say? Physical issue. That's what it was. He said he was out for the physical issue. Like, what the fuck does that mean? And then Sean Ross Sapp did eventually say that it was some kind of illness, but again, still vague. I mean, it's nobody's fucking business, to be fair, but...
Well, in as much as it's one of those things where you just want to, like, you're curious if it is, because you're trying to quell some things, but it's really nobody's business. Any of this shit's nobody's business.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those things where I kind of look at it, it's like, do you not want to say COVID? Because at this point, no one's going to, like, say one way or the other. We're so far into this.
Well, they probably just don't want... They probably just, if he's got some kind of illness and he's out for a bit, they probably just don't want him... They don't want anybody to know so that he doesn't, like, look shitty at WrestleMania, you know? Because it's WrestleMania. It ain't a backlash.
Thank God. Anyways, no, I'm looking at all this, taking in those ones. It's like, we can skip Bray and Lashley.
Yeah, if it doesn't happen, I'm definitely not going to be upset.
I'll deal with something else instead. What was the other one that we talked about? There was the tag titles. Well, that's one thing, and that probably will be Monday or Friday, one or the other.
Yeah, I would.
That'll probably be finalized.
Yeah. Okay, what was the other one I said? Oh, Ray and Dom. That will happen as well. It's just
Ray and Dom will happen.
We're still on the build up, but it'll happen.
How do you think that? That was what my question was going to be. How would you make that happen, or how do you think that will happen?
I don't know. And this kind of plays into that too. So, Rey Mysterio was announced as the first ballot Hall of Famer this year on the for WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame ceremony. As he should. And obviously, but it caught me off guard for two reasons. One, it's like his ass is still wrestling, and two, I thought Batista was supposed to be the one this year, but I did figure out why Batista wasn't. Batista is filming a movie in South Africa and was not able to be there, so because of that,
got it.
He was not the Hall of Famer this year. So I can only imagine because he's big actor man now. If his schedule works out, I imagine he'll be the first ballot Hall of Famer next year. But
my only reaction to that is he though? Is he actually?
I mean, he was great during the time that I watched. I didn't see anything after.
No. I'm talking about the actor part.
Oh.
He was what he was. He was used the way he was. Whether I am a huge fan of Batista as a wrestler or not, I recognize that he was part of one of those weird eras where when you look at it at first, it wasn't Attitude Era, so people shit on it really
he
hard,
came from the same group of Cena and Lesnar. You know, they all those dudes came from the same fucking group, and Randy Orton same way. They all came from the same place and literally all became fucking megastars. So,
no, I'm not. Listen, I don't necessarily know anything about Batista, to be honest with you, as far as wrestling goes. What I've seen, not overwhelmed. I'm not like I don't think he's terrible.
Like I would rather watch Batista than Brock Lesnar. As far as
realistically,
of
you know what?
In 2023, that is definitely not the case in 2023. But like back then, much rather watch Batista than Lesnar.
Yeah. I don't know. Lesnar's interesting, but he's a weird case as far as wrestling goes. So I don't even think I would compare him to anybody. That's one of those. There's a whole lot of feelings on that, but Batista I don't know anything about. I just know that a lot of people like him, a lot of people think he's important. He's done a whole lot in wrestling that I know his name without having been a guy who paid attention heavily. Even during that time, that's when I stopped watching hard and just did not care about wrestling in any capacity. I thought it was stupid at that point. It was going through that like late teens, early 20s phase where I'm like, wrestling's stupid. Why would you play that? Or why'd you watch that?
When I was streaming the other day, it was I was doing the showcase mode for WWE 2K23. And it was John Cena versus Batista in whatever match. And somebody from chat said, it's so weird seeing John Cena and Batista wrestling each other, because they only knew them as actors. And like
that hurts me.
That moment I was like, fuck.
That physically makes me ill. Like, that somebody said that.
I don't know them from any acting. I only know them from wrestling.
The only thing I think when I see them is
the Bond film is like the only movie I've seen with Batista in it, and I've never seen a movie with John Cena in it.
Honestly, I've seen a lot of movies with them in it, and guess what? I think every time I see them, hey, there's that wrestler. That's immediately what pops in my head.
Bro, The Rock hasn't wrestled regularly in 20 fucking years, and even then, I can't see The Rock as an actor, right?
No, I only picture The Rock
as the wrestler.
With the when he still had hair and sunglasses, doing the eye and the lip thing. That's all I know from him. That's it.
Well, I
That will
watched
forever
him a
be
little
that
bit
giant
later
smelling
on.
bastard.
So when I think of The Rock, I
watched
think more
that.
like slimmed down Rock, but he had the shaved head, but no
Oh,
fucking,
the shade, like
but
right
no
there,
goatee,
yeah.
no goatee. He didn't have that
He didn't have
shit.
the goatee yet. He didn't have quite so many tattoos.
It was
yet.
when he was a heel and he'd come out to the ring with a fucking guitar and just play random fucking
the
songs.
Rock concerts.
Yes, those were so good.
Those were fantastic. Those were awesome. I like everything. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't stand him because I don't think he's a good human being. But as a wrestler,
right?
Holy shit! Like,
Oh.
he's fucking awesome, and it's just so drastically different. But at the same time, it's like I'm looking at this going, yeah, a lot of people don't know these guys as wrestlers because they're. I mean, but think of how young they are, or people didn't know anything about wrestling, especially in your streams.
Right.
Like people who didn't know anything about that, they just know Batista is the dude from the Marvel movies, and John Cena was on the Fast and Furious.
I did watch that first. The first, what is it? The
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I watched that first movie.
You
so
can
that
watch
was,
them all.
That's 2 movies I've seen with Batista.
Listen. Marvel movies fall off after Endgame, but you can still watch. You can still watch all the Guardians because those are fun. I say go watch that one. But anyways, no, like people don't know them from anything but that, especially in your stream. So that makes sense. But it's still weird that I'm like, these idiots aren't actors. These idiots threw other sweaty men around for a living before they did anything acting. This is the most amazing. This is like saying I didn't know who Hulk Hogan was other than that guy in that show. In the Rocky movie. Or what was it?
Hogan Knows Best?
Fucking Hogan Knows Best. What was the other movies he did? The one where what was it? The one where he's driving a motorcycle at the very beginning of it, and in the background there's a guy literally picking up a dog and tossing him into a river.
What?
Yeah, I gotta go back and find it, but there's a famous part in a Hulk Hogan video where he's riding on a motorcycle and he's driving down the road and it's following him, and in the background it shows a guy picking up a dog and throwing him into water.
Fuck?
It's the fucking best shit I've ever seen. It's one of those weird, stupid Hulk Hogan movies, but I can't remember what it is, but it's the funniest shit in the world. But yeah, like, that's like saying you only know Hulk Hogan from, like, Santa with muscles. What fuck kind of world do you live in? But, like, people don't know. People don't know who they are.
Yeah, that shit's wild to me. I get it. Like, it's not like these people are unaware, right, that they were wrestlers. It's just they don't know them as that. They've not seen them as that.
They look at it, and especially now, especially if they're like superhero movie fans, they're like, why is the guy from the Suicide Squad beating up the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy? I need to know this. It's very important, and I get it. Wait till the guy from the Fast and the Furious movies comes in. Doesn't run it. That would be hilarious. Can we have a all Hollywood main event of The Rock versus Cena versus Batista?
Yes.
One last go.
You know what?
That's it.
That should have been. That should be a Hollywood main event right there.
That should have been. They're in Hollywood this year. That should have been a match. The 3 most Hollywood individuals out of that company.
To be fair, Batista did say that he's not wrestling ever again.
Yeah, it's good on him. He probably doesn't need to. That last one was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
He's older than I realized he was. I think he's like 55 or something.
Dude had been rolling around.
Pretty damn good for 55.
Well, dude's been rolling around the indies in the South for a while. He had a weird satanic gimmick for a while.
Yep.
Which is really weird because he grew up Catholic. Well,
everybody.
Filipino.
The only one that didn't have a weird gimmick was Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it's because he started out as just like, I'm giant dude.
Yeah, like they all when they were all doing shit in the whatever it was OVW and FCW.
Yeah,
like Batista was like that weird, was Leviathan, I think was his name.
Yes, Leviathan.
He was like weird, creepy dude, and then like John Cena was the prototype.
Oh God, he was Austin Theory.
Yeah,
but worse.
Yes, but
that's why I've always forgot about the prototype.
Yeah. But the Hall of Fame, Batista's not. I imagine he'll be first run ballot next year. Rey Mysterio. So this is something I thought was interesting.
That's what we're going back to. That's
they're really dedicated to making this the Mysterio dad-son feud like feel real. So Dominic is not inducting Rey into the Hall of Fame. Conan is. Which also does make sense. So, like, yeah.
Oh, good, Conan.
It is a little it is kind of sad that, well, if they are trying to like stay in story and whatnot, it is going to be kind of sad if we don't get like anything from Dom. I feel, but
I think there will be something, and it may even be something that you see afterwards. Is like,
yeah,
hey, we're gonna break kayfabe on this and do this because we got through the story, so we're gonna finally put it out. That's how I would do it, because everybody knows that it's all BS, but we're just doing this for story,
right.
And everybody's gonna kind of feel gypped, and I would too. It would suck, but I don't know, man. The whole thing is weird, and I don't know how you get to where you're at, because what are you gonna do? You're gonna induct them with how are we gonna get to this fucking match? Like, that's my problem, and that's why I'm like stammering with everything. How do we get somewhere at this point?
I am fine with where we're going. I'm because I like Rey Mysterio. Like, he's the good guy. You cannot make him heel. It's just not possible.
Oh, no, absolutely. No one's thinking
and, like,
that.
We're all every week, like, Dom is pushing him just a little bit closer, and he's like, I will not hit my son, and he just, and he just leaves. It doesn't matter how much Dom pushes him or whatever. And we're gonna get, like, we've still got what, like, we got 2 weeks left. We still got 2 weeks, and either this week or next week, Dom is gonna do something that just Rey is gonna beat the shit out of him, and it's gonna be great.
Hang on a second. Okay. I was doing like 3 things at the same time. Sorry. No, I mean, I kind of get, like, we're fine where we're at, and it's kind of, we can get there, but I don't know how. Like, I'm just kind of right there. Now, I do want to go back to, you
if they
can't
bring
turn
in family. Like, if they brought in his mom or his Ray's wife, whatever. If he got his mom involved, they bring Vicky Guerrero back. That's what it is.
No, I got one better for you.
What?
They attack Aaliyah, his daughter. Isn't that her name, Aaliyah?
I have no idea.
What is her name?
Surely they wouldn't do that in 2023.
Well, no, what's her name do it? Rhea. And that pisses him off enough to do something. But he can't hit Rhea Ripley, so who does he hit? His son.
Yeah, I mean,
at least that's my idea. I don't know.
Dude, it is weird, like, seeing their family photo. They're all three the same exact height as Rey Mysterio. And then Dom is a full foot taller than all of them.
He is 6 foot tall. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. It's like, okay. What? Yeah. No, he's I think poor Dom just got thrown up there a little too quickly, possibly. Yep. And we're seeing them working out some things. And really, to be honest, do you want to be Rey Mysterio's kid? Or do you want to be the kid that is doing his own thing, but also kind of influenced by his dad and his uncle? Because I kind of like the uncle thing.
No, I like what I like what they're doing with Dominic right now. Because, like, even if he's not real great in the ring yet, And he's not necessarily good on the mic, but they're doing it in a funny way.
He's getting better.
They're doing it in a funny way, and the comedy factor is making it more enjoyable to watch.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like I think the people that have gotten mad about like the whole Eddie Guerrero thing, what are you gonna do about it, man? He's gonna get he's gonna get that thrown at him regardless.
Who would even be mad about it? Hell, even fucking Vicky didn't even care.
Like, that's what I'm saying. How could she honestly like get upset about that? Because it's one of those things where I look at the situation and Vicky honestly could go, it's Dominic. How do I get upset at Dom doing something about it? And he was gonna get that anyways. He's gonna get the comparison for Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Because everyone's gonna compare him to that. Okay. And then he's got Eddie on top of that because he's already been, I mean, we already had the Dom Eddie, you know, the whole fatherhood thing, the whole custody thing. And then
his style,
the only way it could have been worse
Eddie
for him.
more anyways than it does Rey.
True, very much. But the only thing about it is the only way it could have been worse for Dom to get as far as like being compared to Eddie is if his last name was actually Guerrero.
Right.
Like, that's the only way it could have been worse. He's a Mysterio. He's also like that whole family's together. And then on top of that, you know, they're all together with all the people down in Mexico so like Conan and all them.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get all that weight on his shoulders. It was going to happen regardless. I like that they're leaning into that kind of, I'm a heel who talks big, but is completely full of shit. I love that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And they're getting him better at talking. He's leaning into it. He's getting better. And the comedy is at an all-time high. He sounds like an unsure kid because he is an unsure kid. Also, I just looked it up. His daughter's last name is Aaliyah. And I would say have Rhea go hit up Aaliyah or Angie and him so mad at her that he hits his own kid because his kid's a little shit that instigated it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like it. It'll work.
Well,
It's just, I feel like it's rushing at this point because we've wasted time. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was on. I don't know.
I'm content so far. I'm just, and it's, as I said, like every Friday now, I'm just like, I'm waiting for that moment and it doesn't happen. I'm like, God damn it. God damn it. We got another week.
You fucking hit him. That's all I can think every time. Just beat the little shit. Listen, there's people that are against corporal punishment for children that are like, listen, if you hit this kid, I'm going to be okay with it. Just please.
But the only other inductee the Hall of Fame this year of all people was the Great Muta, which that makes sense. That makes sense, but I feel like that was wild to see the WWE do.
No.
But
no, because
he's being inducted by Ric Flair.
Well, perfect person to induct him in.
Woo! Gonna whip out Grandpa Flair's wheelchair. Speaking of Ric Flair, oh my
your
God!
Grandpa's bear pill.
That goddamn! Oh fuck! What was that tweet or whatever that he was talking about his last match? I gotta find the exact quote. And I'm just like, please don't.
Oh my God, I remember it.
Do this again. There it is. Here's the deal. This is Ric Flair talking about his last match that he had last year. Here's the deal. It was the shits because I made the mistake. I made a mistake with hydrating. Let me have it again. I'm serious. I think about it all the time. Let me have the match again. The only thing I never thought about was to keep myself hydrated. And I'm like, Rick, no. That was not a hydration incident. That was you being 80 years old, man.
Rick, is it really? Because is it the hydration part, or is it the fact that you're an old fuck and it would have just been hydrated drizzling shits?
Like,
so it would have drizzled a little bit more because it would have been a little more energetic. Whereas most of the people were like, is he alive? Is he dead?
We cannot,
just leave him.
Like, as a society, allow Ric Flair to wrestle another match. It just cannot happen.
I mean, to be fair, that match was mostly Jay Lethal.
It was them, the other two, while Ric Flair laid on the floor the majority of the match.
Yeah.
And then went and got shit-faced with Kid Rock. Was it Kid Rock that was at that one? That was Kid Rock,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if that was that show or if that was a different pay-per-view.
No, it was that one because we got discount Kid Rock at the
Party. God bless that man's just awful.
The first thing I did on WWE 2K23 was turn off his fucking song.
I turned off
Immediately, I would just like, nope, done. We're done.
Oh, well, we've got like, I'm just going to go down the list of everybody that is an injury or is out of action for some reason.
Are you doing all companies or just the one? Just WWE?
All of it. All of them.
Okay, good.
So Danhausen has a torn pec, which seems to be the, it's like a curse. What was that, like the third or fourth one in the past year?
For Danhausen, it's definitely a curse. For the rest of them, it seems to be a trend.
Did he accidentally curse himself at the pay-per-view?
I guess he did. He did it in the mirror. Like he was doing it in the mirrors. Like he had a half-cocked curse and accidentally hit it in the mirror. You know, it wasn't good. It went off back at him. It's not.
Obviously, Bray Wyatt, he's out with some kind of illness.
Mental. I don't know.
Chuck Taylor had to have emergency dental surgery.
That sucks.
Could you imagine? God damn.
What happened there? I bet it was
any kind of dental issue is the absolute worst.
I want nothing to do with any of that.
So I don't know. I'm assuming that won't be like a thing where he'll be out a long time, but it did say that he would be missing some shows because of it. I know there was more. Maybe I was wrong. Oh, Kofi Kingston, I forgot. Kofi Kingston is out for, I think it was knee surgery. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but I know that he did have to have surgery. And I think it was knee. I believe. But I can't find it. Bum 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 ba-dum. Ankle is an ankle injury. So,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so he's got an ankle injury. He had to have surgery. I don't know, I don't know when he'll be back. I imagine it'll probably be like 6 months or more, if I had to guess. But yeah, I think that may do it. Well, I guess we could also bring up Big E, unfortunately, who is kind of teased that like he possibly could never wrestle again. And he did say, like, he's optimistic and happy. Like, he said that if this was the end and everything, that he would be happy with everything. So I guess that's fine. And then poor Ridge Holland has gotten just so many awful things hurled his way as well because of the incident. But you know,
absolute bullshit.
Right. Then the New Day, like both of them or all three of them, have all said like, "Yo, like don't throw blame at him. Like shit happens. Wrestling is dangerous. You know, it just sucks. Like, you know." But
yeah,
it's not like he did it on purpose. It's not like he walked out there with the goal of, I'm gonna break that man's neck.
Fuck this man. That's what I'm gonna do.
People
kill him.
People suck.
Yeah, it's BS.
So obviously the biggest piece of news this week is that pickle company MJF was eating during the promo.
Right.
MJF is apparently getting his own flavor of pickles from them.
Hell yeah.
Let me tell you, he sold the fuck out of those pickles during that scrum, dude. And when those bitches get back in stock, I'm buying some. He made them out to be like they were life-altering. So, gotta have some of them. Freaking Stu Grayson returned this week.
Nice.
And because I could be remembering incorrectly, but didn't Stu Grayson want out because he didn't like how he was being booked in AEW and he was frustrated? I think that was him, but I could be wrong.
It was either him or Alan Angel.
Stu Grayson. Yeah, I forgot Alan Angel.
Because Alan Angel is a big deal in Impact now.
Yeah. No, Stu Grayson did choose to leave after his contract went up. But I don't know, like. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure it was him that he didn't renew because he wanted out to do other stuff. But it may have been Alan Angels that was the one that was like really just fucking done. But either way, it's cool to see him back doing that.
Mm-hmm.
God, and I guess to keep the AEW train rolling. I guess Tony Khan has. I don't know. Did they fully announce it, or is it just like a rumored thing? I don't know. They're gonna have another show, like Rampage.
Oh, that's just been talked about. He kind of said something about them talking about it. They never said what it's gonna be. They just want another hour of stuff.
Like,
I don't know.
We can't even do the Rampage hour correctly. I feel like most of the time. Do we really need another show that's an hour long? We got 3 TV shows, and then we got 2 YouTube shows, and then we've got the Ring of Honor shows on top of that. Like, so much.
Here would be my plan of this. Here's how I would do this. Hear me out. So we got 2 YouTube shows, right?
Yep.
We now need 4 hours of television, right?
Yep.
Let's get rid of 2 YouTube shows.
I think realistically, we should get.
And then shift everybody that's not being used there over to Ring of Honor.
Have Dynamite be the show as it has been. 2 hours. Don't add a third show. Keep Rampage. Find another time slot if possible. It's in a terrible time slot and make it 2 hours instead of making.
That's what I'm saying. Get rid of it and then just make Rampage 2.
Yeah.
Have 2 of Dynamite. Get rid of at least 1 of the YouTube shows.
We don't need Dark and Elevation. Why is that a thing? Why do we need both shows? Just make one.
No. I guess they're trying to get as many people. But you now have house shows. You now have Ring of Honor,
which is actually another thing that I wanted to mention. The house shows. So it appears there's a lot of people not happy about the house shows. John Moxley was extra pissed about having to do the house show because apparently he was supposed to be doing some other show and was double booked. And Tony told him that he had to do the house show and he couldn't go do the other thing. So maybe that's why he bled at the house show.
No, he did that because he doesn't drink anymore. You and I both know that. Stop telling that to people.
But yeah, he was apparently pretty pissed.
Admit it.
Most of the locker room, I think it was Alvarez that said it. They don't seem to be too content on the idea of the house shows.
Good.
He pointed out that in with the WWE, you have your contract, right? That you make that you're for however many years. And then the house shows, if you do the house shows, you get paid extra for those house show appearances.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he didn't know that for sure, or know this for sure, but it could be implied that AEW isn't doing that. They're just requiring people to be there and not paying them extra on top of what's on their contract. I mean,
so then at that point it would have to be counting towards their date.
Right. So it's like on one side, like with some of the other stuff that Tony Khan has talked about, like he like paying for like the rental cars and the hotels and whatnot. So it seems like that surely he wouldn't do that. But I think given that these house shows are not like all of the time and all over the place like they are with the WWE, I don't think it's as big of a deal.
I think, honestly, getting a few of the big guys there for the first few, like they're kind of pushing it to just get people to regularly go to them, and then have big guys like one or two on the show doing other stuff. What they're going to end up doing it's just going to be developmental stuff, guaranteed. They're just trying to get people to go to it so it can kind of pay for itself. Is basically what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then,
because I mean, if you're going
to get
show,
that push,
you
what
want
that
to
does
see
then,
somebody exciting, right? You go to a house show and it's just fucking people from AEW Dark, you'd probably be kind of pissed.
So what I think they're doing, if they're not paying them extra for the house shows, what they're doing then is they're counting that towards their dates, so that their dates end up, they only have so many dates that they wrestle, even though they have so many, they have so many years on their contract, but you can only do so many in that year because that's what's in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're counting that towards that date, that just means you get another week off of television somewhere else, which kind of sucks for momentum, but at the same time, you can do something else. So
I think realistically, it kind of sucks that he wasn't. I forgot the event. It's like some big thing in somewhere, but he wasn't able to go. And it sucks. I'm sure he's angry about it. And that's, I get that.
Yeah,
especially for a house do a house show. But like the house, like it's a new thing, and they need, I guess, because this is like the first actual like House Rules branded house show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously for the first one, like Tony was probably like, "Yo, like this is the first one. We really need you here. We need the big names." And the card for house shows, we had Ethan Page, Sean Dean, Hook, Ethan Page again. He did 2 matches, I guess. Jeff Jarrett, Brian Pillman Jr., Ruby Soho, Haley J. I don't know who the hell that is. Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy. So like those are big names. The Blade and the Butcher, QT Marshall, Pat Buck. No idea who that is. They had fucking Britt Baker versus Anna Jay. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Christopher Daniels, and Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley versus Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. I don't know who the fuck is Big Bill.
Big Cass.
Oh, I'm an idiot. You're right. So like it was kind of a mix, right? They had like a handful of like huge AEW names mixed in with some mid-card people, and then even like a handful of people that I have no idea who they are. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Like that was 9 matches. I don't know how much. I'm assuming obviously there'd be more matches than TV because there's less talk and more wrestle. But like how much?
There's also less TV or like breaks. There's no breaks or anything. But
that's
also
true.
you're probably doing pretty quick matches.
Yeah. Let's see. Did that show the time? Yeah, that one didn't show the time on that one. But like what is a WWE one? Looks like about 7 matches, so that's not far off.
That's not far off, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. They're probably just trying to get this thing out there, and they want the big names at the beginning, and then I don't know, maybe they'll like work out a deal later on. Because it definitely seems like their intention is to not do house shows like WWE does house shows.
And I kind of think that that's one of those things that's kind of put a bad taste in Moxley's mouth.
Yeah.
About that, where it's kind of they say they pay them extra, but it's also one of those things where you're expected to do it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do it. So.
Oh shit! That also reminds me, like apparently, I don't remember it happening, but like Forbidden Door 2023 is announced. Do you remember Tony announcing that at any point in time this week? Because I sure as fuck don't remember him talking about it.
What? No.
It's just
I missed it.
June. I don't know. I could not figure out anywhere where he had said it, but it's happening June 25th, and it's going to be in Toronto. So,
okay.
I thought that was random when I saw that
All
today.
right then.
So I was like, well, maybe that's just like speculation. And then I went to the AEW like schedule, and it's literally on there, June 25th. So that was kind of strange. I may have just missed that announcement.
Surprising, confusing.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
I missed it. Maybe they did it on Rampage. I don't know, but yeah, that's gonna be happening.
I'm gonna assume they did.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. So another thing,
God, we're bad at this.
That I thought was funny was Saraya. She talked about getting fined for what she said on television and whatnot. So everybody just assumed it was like a work or whatever. But she did get fined, like straight up, apparently, for saying twat and flipping off the crowd. She got fined, like for real.
That's funny.
I thought that was funny too. And like the best part of it is when apparently when Tony Khan has to issue fines to people, he takes that money and puts it into a charity of their choice.
Oh, that's good.
So I thought that was kind of neat too. So,
that's not as hurtful of the situation. It's like, oh, it's got, yeah, okay.
So I thought that was kind of neat and funny.
That's hilarious though. I forgot about that. That's funny.
I freaking love. I feel like we had a big misstep with Saraya. Like, I don't know, she wasn't
right at the beginning.
Yeah, it just wasn't that exciting. I love the AEW version of Damage Control that we're getting right now. The NWO.
I was gonna say
the women's NWO of AEW.
It's female AEW NWO is what this is,
and it's way better than Damage Control has been. And we're just getting started. I feel
like that too, and
I love it. I like what they're doing with all of that. That's been fun, and I feel like they finally got a good thing going with Saraya. And now they've turned Ruby heel, and I feel like she has more purpose now. And Tony Storm is just fucking awesome. It's just great. It's perfect.
Tony Storm is angry Tony Storm. That's what her heel gimmick is. She just beats the crap out of everyone. Saraya is a mean, bitchy girl. And Ruby has always been the angry punk kid. Like, that's just what she is. She just goes around snarling at everybody and being a bitch. And they're fantastic at heels, all three of them. I'm super happy that Ruby's back in the group because she worked really well with the Riot Squad with Liv and Sarah Logan, who's now the not spooky character Valhalla. That's fun. Anyways, like, they were cool because they were Riot Squad. They were little punk chicks that were running around causing trouble. Fun. This is now that, but with the outsider gimmick because they're all outsiders to AEW. So it works. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it too. I think we're back to doing some good shit in AEW.
Yes,
like I like most of everything that's going on, even though I don't like what the TNT title and shit has been for a while. Like, we got Belt on Hobbs, who deserves it, and hopefully we'll have a good run with him. I think the trios titles are now in a better spot.
Yes, they are.
The only thing we're missing now is the tag title division, and hopefully that'll be FTR. It is still reported, I guess.
Oh my God.
I'll use the word reported, that they're still like adamant by saying that their contracts expire in April and they have not signed a new contract. Today, FTR or Dax tweeted out, I don't remember the tweet exactly, but he tweeted out saying that he just got done talking to Cash on the phone, and they have now officially decided what they're going to do come April. Nothing is official yet, and he can't speak on it, but in the next couple of weeks,
we'll know.
We'll know. So, God damn it, you bald bitch, fucking leaving us hanging like this.
No, because in the next couple of weeks, we know what's going to happen between them and the guns. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want them to be in a good spot where they're going to get booked well.
Just think.
That's all I care about.
We'll have MJF world title. We got fucking Jamie Hayter women's title. We got the House of Black with the trios title. We got Orange Cassidy with the international title. We got fucking Powerhouse Hobbs with the TNT title, and then we can get those tag titles on FTR. Like, fuck yeah. I'm down with all of that.
And then get the TBS title on Chris.
Oh yeah,
that'll be good,
dude. I literally didn't. That literally just
that title
left
does not exist
my mind entirely,
you know what?
And I feel like
There's
that
a
speaks
gap.
volumes.
You know what? We're gonna just think about. We're gonna kayfabe this into. This era does not exist. It was vacant. Vacant's the longest running champion in TBS history. Right now, it's vacant. That's what I'm gonna think about it until later time when I deem otherwise. Dude, I just remembered something off the top of my head because I'm an idiot. I was bitching about the whole Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah.
Hangman. I remembered why Wednesday was so good and why I was so angry at it too. I'm reinvested in this because we got the tease for the Elite coming back to help Hangman.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
We got the tease for that because it looked like Hangman was gonna get all shit kicked out of him by Blackpool Combat Club after their match, and they got saved by everybody, and then it was just Hangman by himself, and then the Elite came up behind Hangman while the Blackpool Combat Club were about to beat his ass and chased him out of the thing, and then he turned around and it cut the fucking camera. There was no reaction, none. He turned around and it cut the camera.
Yep.
So tomorrow, as of recording this, Monday, I'm going to be glued to YouTube waiting to see what they do for
the Elite.
BT.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Because last week they even had the tease at the end of being the Elite, which I love just because it's fun stuff. It's a lot of backstage shit. So that's cool to see. But the tease for him was at the end of it, he was talking to Stu talking to Evil Uno about Stu coming back, and he was looking at the pictures that he had with the Dark Order, and picked up the one that he had with the Elite and put it back up and just turned it back around.
Yeah.
So there was a tease for it, but I didn't even put that together. It's just like the tease that they always do at the end of being the Elite when it comes to them. There's always like some weird stuff with him and the Dark Order and the Elite and everything. But I didn't put that together until I was thinking about it just a minute ago. I was like, wait, this is better. Oh my God, they did that. Oh God, that's going to be ridiculous Monday. I completely forgot they did that at the end of that.
Yeah.
There's so much going on, and that's my other thing is it seems like there's so much happening, and it's just so easy to forget and be jumbled up with
there's so much. There's too much to watch, and it's hard to keep track of everything.
There is. It feels like that.
Even this past week, I literally watched most of Raw, and then Dynamite I watched, but I was side-eyeing it while I was working on other things. SmackDown I tried to watch while I was streaming. Didn't go well, but I did at least see the important bits, like the Sammy and Kevin hug. Yep. Rampage, at this point I don't watch it all. I do not watch it. If I see Twitter talking about how great a match is or something, I'll go back and watch.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I just skip Rampage. It's too much. We got 3, then let's see 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of wrestling a week, and that's not including NXT or Ring of Honor.
And I put Ring of
TNA
Honor
if you want to count that, or Impact. I don't think anybody counts Impact though, to be fair.
People try not to. Anyways, as far as Ring of Honor goes, I kind of put it on and have it on in the background while I'm doing other stuff too. But
yeah,
that's about it. It's like second monitor at that point.
mm-hmm.
But like, it goes and it like I kind of watch it. It's really good stuff. It's just there's so freaking much. It's why we don't even dive into the indie stuff here. It's why it's so hard because there's just so
and
much.
Like it's dedicating like 3 hours of every Monday is just not a reality. When you go back and
it's hard, man.
The like replay of Raw, the replay of Raw is an hour and a half, and I'm like, if the replay, if they can cut out enough shit for the replay to be an hour and a half total, then they need to stop having 3-hour fucking shows.
No, because USA rings every ounce of fucking TV time that they can and ad revenue that they can out of it. So
it's like I've learned now that it doesn't make any sense to watch Raw live when you watch the next day and it's half the length.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out too. When you said that, I was like,
because like when
damn, it's only like an hour and a half. Fuck.
When you watch Dynamite or you watch SmackDown, it's always cut down to about the like, I don't know, like 20 minutes less or so than normal like TV. Like those shows, their replays are basically the same length as Raw's replay, and Raw is an hour longer than both of those shows. Like that's crazy to me.
It's a bit obvious.
Yeah. Oh, that's been the strat, is just watching the next day.
It really is when it comes down to it, but yeah, I don't know. It just seems like there's so much going on right now. But
yeah,
it's hard to keep up with, anyways. It's just gonna have to keep it straight, and I completely forgot about the ending part of that because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
As far as that storyline goes, and hopefully we can see something about it. Maybe it's gonna be one of those things where we get, you get Kenny going after single stuff and the Bucks back in the tag chase.
I feel like that would it's weird because I was pretty hyped for this, like the trio, like the lead of the trios, but then I was excited for that when they were having the Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish as a trio as well.
Yeah.
And of course we never got that. Kyle O'Reilly got injured, Adam Cole got injured, and Bobby Fish decided to be a cunt. And then we got the Elite. The Elite was just it wasn't as exciting. The Black, I think right now, House of Black is perfect. That's who needs the belt, and it's gonna be a great run, hopefully. And I think honestly, I would rather see Kenny do the solo and the Bucks go back to tag, at least for right now. Like not forever, obviously, but.
Yep.
But I think that would probably work out better for the moment.
Then we can have more because this Wednesday is going to be a thing, because this Wednesday don't we get the return of Adam Cole?
Ooh, is it
this Wednesday?
This one? No. It's the week after.
Is the next one? It's the week after. Okay.
Yeah, the 29th we get both Adam Cole back, and we get that TV show that comes on after Dynamite. Like,
oh yeah, the behind the scenes shit.
I'm not like super duper.
I actually kind of want to watch that.
I'm not like super duper hyped by any means because I really don't know what to expect just yet. But I will definitely plan on watching it.
What it looks like from what I was seeing is it took the place of what was it, the Road to the Top or whatever it was.
But it's Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
Well, no, it's everybody. It's just whoever they pick.
I hope so. I don't want a damn stupid cringe ass reality show.
No, what it looks like is that his show kind of like the Cody Rhodes and the Rhodes show did kind of have that weird, like,
it had the
Ms. and Mrs. thing going on.
Right. It had the shitty reality show, but it also had like a behind the scenes look at some stuff as well.
Yeah, because the best moment I've ever seen is it was when Jon Moxley was still drinking, And he walked up and he goes, I'm real fucking hungover. And he says that looking at Brandy Rhodes while she's pregnant, and she goes, uh-huh. And he just walks off. Like, just fucking wanders off. And she goes, I think you'll be fine. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm like, that's probably a good idea. Looking back, maybe you shouldn't have. I don't know. But it like that one looks stupid. It was kind of dumb, and I think this one looks more like it's just because they're picking Adam Cole and Britt Baker. Yeah. There's a lot there for them to be like realistic about it. And it just being more documentary style than it is like reality show.
I miss all of the behind the scenes blogs that everybody used to do on YouTube, and literally nobody does them anymore. And I've said it before, but I think it has something to do with the show.
Possibly. I don't know. Maybe we can get that figured out. I don't know. It's just it does kind of suck when it comes to that.
Because like I don't know that anybody does that stuff anymore. The closest thing we do have is being the Elite, obviously, but even it's a little different. It's more it's less of like a behind the scenes of AEW and more just like a day in the life of the Young Bucks mixed with some comedy sketches,
It's comedy sketches and a travel blog is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's really what it rolls down to. It's comedy and promos and a travel blog. It's not real behind the scenes other than just you kind of see some shit. But it's a lot less what this is gonna be as far as that goes. This looks like it's gonna be more here's what's actually happening behind the scenes, whereas the vlogs were just like it was kind of like those were just fun to see them, like Allie and her doing the Oreo stuff. And
right. She's another person that doesn't do the backstage blogs anymore.
I know. Is she even there right now? I think she's hurt, isn't she?
She was. I think she's back now.
Okay, she's back. Okay, no, you're right. But like her interactions, anybody's interactions with Eddie Kingston is worth having a blog.
Yes,
like
yes.
Just anytime you can get him wandering around in the background, Eddie Kingston is Eddie Kingston on the mic behind the scenes. It's Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it. And it's the funniest shit in the world when he's always in there just immediately cursing up the largest storm possible to get them to have to bleep every one of them out. And they're just looking like they're dead inside while he's smiling and talking to them. It's the funniest shit. And that kind of is why I'm sad about that. Is because we don't get Eddie interactions on the internet anymore.
Oh. Well, I think that is gonna about do it for tonight.
Yeah, it kind of covers everything at this point.
Yeah.
I think until
there was some other little small stuff, but it's already almost 7:30, so it's probably a good place to leave it. But
legit.
Do you still want to do GM mode again Wednesday?
Yeah, absolutely. If we can still do that, I'm gonna
sell. This will be up tomorrow, hopefully.
Hopefully.
We're gonna wrap this up here for tonight. So Wednesday, the 22nd, we're gonna be doing another WWE 2K23 GM mode stream. So be sure to check that out. I still plan on doing Wrestlemania react stream on the 1st and 2nd of April. Anyways, if you've not liked the video, you should definitely do so. If you're not subscribed to the channel on YouTube, be sure to do that. If you've not followed the podcast on Spotify, the link for that is also in the description below. Unless you're listening to it on Spotify, then go find the YouTube and then sub to that. Anyways.
Yeah. Comment. Tell us what you think and stuff.
Exactly. Tell us things about stuff.
Yes.
We like things and stuff. So if you could find stuff and things, that would be great because we're into that.
Tell us things about the stuff and then show us the stuff about those things.
Yeah. It'd be real great. It'd be like a nice big stuff fest and where we talk about things. So
exactly.
do that in the section below. not follow us on Twitter or the TikTok, Instagram. I think we got them all now at this point. I think.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track anymore. There's so much social media.
It's overwhelming.
Yes. Good. All right. Thanks everyone for hanging. Peace out. Take it easy. Have a good one, and we'll see you guys all next time.
Peace.